Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. Today we are in Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlords, and this video is about armor. More importantly, I'm going to show you the 5 greatest sets that I have managed to assemble, going through the stats of each piece of armor. Kind of hoping to give you guys an idea of what armor is good to pick up, what kind of stats you're supposed to be looking for, and just how cool can you look by the end of the game. Of course, one thing I would say is that there is a slight case of RNG here, so you may not have these things spawned into your world yet. I may not have your things spawned into the world yet, and the stats may be slightly different depending on a few different factors. Also depends greatly on where you are currently in the game, as certain pieces of armor seems to only spawn in once you get so far in. So if you haven't got these armors yet, or if you haven't got anywhere near these stats, don't fret, give it some time and they will populate. Now, one thing I would like to add is to mention just how important having a high armor set actually is. It's actually rather difficult to get and acquire more HP. One of the only ways that we actually have to defend ourselves when it comes to the battlefield is to have a decent set of armor. Anyone that's played this game right at the beginning and been killed by looters or been dragged around endlessly by bandits will know that it is very easy to die. And unfortunately, apart from upping your skill with a weapon and actually getting better at fighting, one of the main reasons you're able to live longer and survive these battles is because you simply outmatch the opponent when it comes to armor. As you can see right here, I am being struck repeatedly with a weapon. It's not doing very much damage because I happen to be wearing incredibly strong armor. One of the first things to look out for when it comes to a armor piece and trying to decide whether it is a good piece or not would be the tier rank. You will notice whenever you're looking through pieces of armor, it will say the armor tier in which it is, 6 being the absolute highest. I would like to mention that I have never seen a tier 6 boots or gloves, so if that has spawned into your world or if you know it exists, let me know down in the comments. I personally have not found it, so don't drive yourself crazy trying to acquire a full tier 6 set, because as far as I know, that does not exist. Now here on display is some of the finest pieces of armor that I have managed to acquire throughout my game. Some truly amazing pieces here, but none of these are in my top 5. Now, before we get going, I think it would be a good idea to tell you roughly what to look for when it comes to these sort of things. In armor, anything above 20 in boots is considered a good piece of armor. When it comes to the actual bodysuit, the main piece of armor, you're looking for 50 plus in body, 14 plus in leg, and 14 plus in arms. If you have anything with those stats, then it's a very, very good piece of armor and probably cost you an absolute bomb. When it comes to the shoulders or the cape, you're looking for an 18 plus. Again, if you have anything close to that, you've got a very, very good cape or shoulder piece. In head, anything above 50 armor, I would consider extremely good. And in arms, as in your gauntlets that you wear, again, it would be anything above 20. Now we've got that all out of the way, let me introduce you to my 5th greatest set of armor. Now, it wasn't intentional, but I happen to think that this suit of armor looks pretty damn good. Now, for the head, we are wearing the Highland Crowned Helmet. Now, this is a tier 6 armor piece, and it has 50 armor, which is absolutely bloody brilliant. 50 armor is hard to find. As you can see, it costs 38,000 plus dinars. That's how much I'm going to get if I sell it. I'm going to tell you now that the prices that you're going to see on all of these is going to be extremely higher if you're going to purchase them. On our shoulders or cape, we have the Heavy Warlord. This is a tier 5 piece. It has 20 body armor and 10 in arms. Again, it says it's only worth 5,000, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to cost you around 15 in a shop if you was to buy it. On our chest, we have got the Castle Freight Lamar armor. I'm sorry for butchering that, guys. That is tier 6. That is a 48 body, 24 leg armor, and 14 arm armor. That 24 leg armor is bloody good. Very, very strong. It's actually the reason why it's on this list, even though we're below the 50 in main body armor. Again, very, very expensive and going to cost you a huge amount more in the shops. For our gauntlets, we're wearing the matching Lamar plate gauntlets. This is only a tier 4, or I say only a tier 4. I haven't actually found a tier 5 gauntlet. And this will give you 23 armor on the hand. This is an extremely good set. It's going to cost you an awful lot in the shop. But remember, this is only on 5th place, guys, and there is a lot more to come. Now, let me introduce you to the 5th greatest set of armor that I have ever created. Now, first up, we have the plated helmet with side guards. Now, this is again a tier 6 armor piece, and it has 52 head armor. 52 head armor is a ton. For the cape, we have the reinforced bronze scale shoulder guards. This is only tier 5, but it does give us 20 in body armor and 12 in arm armor. Then on our chest, and I do apologize for butchering it, we have the Brigadier over mail. That is not how you pronounce it. It is 50 body armor, leg armor has 16, and it also has 14 in our arm armor. Moving on to the gauntlets, we have the reinforced mail mittens. This is tier 4 and has 23 arm armor. And on the boots, we have lordly plate boots. Now, I would mention that having the word lordly in front of whatever it is that you have is going to boost up its stats. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but these leg armors have 27 armor on them, which is bloody good. I actually think this whole suit looks really great as well. It's really nice that it's all matched together, and yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Anyway, let's move on to the 3rd place. This is, again, 3rd place, so there's so much more to come. Again, all this armor is going to cost an absolute bomb, guys, so I hope you've got plenty of money. For the helmet, we have the Warlord helmet. This is 53 armor. Again, it is a tier 6. Then we have the decorated leather harness over scale. It has 19 body and 12 arm armor. Then we have the Mastercraft Southern Scale over Chainmail. This has 51 body armor, 16 leg armor, and 16 arm armor. This is an absolute beast. This is one of the most expensive pieces of armor I have ever brought. Then we have the Heavy Mail Mittens. This is tier 4, and it gives us 24 arm armor. Moving on to the boots, we have the dented scale boots. You can get slightly better, but this will give you 22 leg armor. And again, it said dented, meaning it is damaged, meaning that you can get these scale boots elsewhere in the world for a higher quality. And again, that kind of word tier is why my master crafted Southern Scale armor is so strong, because of the master crafted that has been added. And in 2nd place, we have this absolute beaut. Now, the helmet itself is a Warlord helmet over full mail. This is tier 6 and will give you a massive 54 armor. This is the highest rated armor I have seen in a game. Then we have the reinforced shoulders. This will give you 20 in the body armor and a 12 in the arm armor. This is extremely expensive for a cape, but I think the extra bonus stats here, it was really good. On our chest, we have the Masterclass's Southern Scale over chain. This is the Ebook. It's slightly different and will give you 51 body armor, 25 in leg armor, and 16 in arm armor. This leg armor is absolutely perfect for anyone that is going to be riding around on a horse, probably for your main character, someone leading your cavalry. I think it's one of the best looking armors I've ever seen, to be fair. We also have the Scale Warlord bracers. These is a gauntlet and will give you 25 armor. After that, we have the Scaled boots with a 26 armor. And again, if you remember right, we were doing the bent boots in the last one. Dented boots. Dented, bent, same thing. Anyway, these ones are not dented and therefore they have got better armor on them. And of course, all this has been a countdown to the greatest set of armor that I have found inside my game. Remember, guys, if you found anything better, then let me know down in the comments. Let me know exactly what it is, what the stats are. Very interested to know what has spawned in your world, because I'm sure that there is better out there. But in first place, here we are. This guy has the best stats. However, the helmet's actually, I've ranked it first purely because I preferred the look of it. The stats is exactly the same as the last, but we have the fine closed mail goggled helmet. The stats, the head armor is 54, exactly the same as the last one. I just thought this one looked slightly better. The only real difference between these two is that this one in first place actually weighs a slight bit less than the other. And apart from that, they're exactly the same. Anyway, moving on to the cape or the shoulder armor. Can't really call this a cape. It's definitely more of a shoulder armor piece. We have the reinforced over scale. This is tier 6. It is classed as a cape, but it has 22 body armor, guys, and 12 in armor. Moving on to our chest, we have the heavy scale armor over male Huber. Now, in case you haven't actually noticed, this has 57 armor, guys. This is 5 clear points above anything else I've shown you in this video. That is absolutely massive. The leg armor is 20 and the arm armor is 16. Onto the gauntlets, we have lordly decorated imperial gauntlets. These are only a tier 3, but yet they do offer 28 armor. Again, this is perfect proof to show that tier size isn't necessarily everything. Just because this is lower tier doesn't mean it's inferior or in any way. In fact, the lordly part that's been added is why it got the buff. And lastly, we've got the fine scale boots. This is tier 4 and it has a massive 30 in armor. I haven't found anything in a game even close to 30 armor in boots. So as far as I know, this is the best boots you can find. However, I'm sure in your world, if a lordly scaled boots tier 4 was to pop up, those stats would be better. Now, if you do manage to get all of these, that will give you a whopping 239 armor points, which is just insane when it comes to armor. But like I said, guys, I'm sure that better can actually pop up and will pop up in your world given time. However, this was the best that has popped up in my world. And yes, I did go to every single town, buy every single piece of decent armor in the game, spending absolute millions in making this video. And so that's why I say this is the best armor you can create in the game, or at least the best armor I've managed to create. I look forward to hearing what yours are. Let me know down in the comments what you have managed to find, and be very interesting to find out those stats that you guys have got too. Before I leave this video, I would like to add about agility or your movement speed on the battlefield. Having this absolute monstrous tanky armor is one thing. It's going to be extremely good for you. In other words, you're going to stand there and be able to take multiple hits, which is fabulous. However, the problem is you are going to be slightly slower on that battlefield than you would be if you're wearing smaller armor. So keep that in mind when kitting out your fellow. I personally like making absolute tanks, so for me, this armor is God. But that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys have found it at least entertaining. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Don't forget, we do actually have that active and growing Discord. The link for that will be down in the description. So if you want to join and say hi or just have a chat about this game with other like-minded fellows, the link for that is in the description. But until next time, I've been a monk, we've been Critically Clueless, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.